Showbiz Tonight. It's 30 minutes past the hour. I'm AJ Hammer, broadcasting tonight and every night from New York City. Tonight, brand new bombshell revelations from the explosive Michael Jackson tapes today, directly from the man who interviewed Jackson for over 30 hours. Rabbi Shmuley Boteach came to Showbiz Tonight with big news breaking. In the explosive tapes first heard on NBC's Dateline, Michael Jackson goes into graphic detail about claims that his father used to oil him down to beat him. Well, today I had to ask the rabbi what he was thinking when Michael dropped that bombshell. Also, brand new insight today into how Michael's relationship with his father nearly crippled his career. Rabbi Shmuley unveils today the never-before-heard details. And in more big news breaking, I asked the rabbi point blank if he is betraying Michael by releasing these tapes so soon after his death. I am telling you, after this interview, you will never see Michael Jackson the same way again. I would like to listen to a little bit of what we heard on Dateline when they played what I believe was really the most explosive description of Michael Jackson describing the abuse by his father. Let's listen to that.
He made you strip nude first. He would oil you down. Your whole ritual, he would oil you down. So when the flip of the ironing cord hit you, it would just, and it would just like me dying, and your foot's all over your face, your back, everywhere. And I always hear my mother, but no, Joe, you gotta kill him, no. I would just give up. Like there was nothing I could do. And I hated him for it. Hated him.
Wow, it's so strong and it's so powerful and stunning to hear such vivid description of something we'd only heard talked about before. You were sitting right there across from him. How do you react when you hear him describing how he was beat?
Even when I hear it now, it's painful because it shows a side of Michael that is so contradictory to the superstar who played before millions of fans. I don't think Michael was ever known as a man. I don't think we ever understood his brokenness. I think we judged him and we rejected him. But even he didn't reject his father completely after that clip. The clip ends by saying, and I love him today, but he was hard. Michael yearned for a relationship with his father. I think it's what he most wanted.
But it is so many conflicts, and this was what Michael's life seemed to be all about, were these great conflicts. On the one hand, he says he hated his father. On the other hand, you say in the book, Michael talks about how he loved his father. And the tape I want to play right now, a part that we heard on Larry King Live, where he talks about how he wanted his father dead and could picture him in a coffin. Let's listen to this.
I'll never forget this. Janet and myself, I would say, Janet, shut your eyes. She'd go, okay, let's shut. I said, picture Joseph in a coffin, he's dead. Did you feel sorry? She would go, no. That's what we would do to each other as kids. We would play games like that. She'd go, nope. Just like that. And that's how hateful we were. I go, he's in the coffin, he's dead. Would you feel sad? Of course, you go, no. Just like that. That's how angry we were with him. And I love him today, but he was hard.
Again, there's that contrast. I love him, he was hard, and we imagined him dead and didn't feel anything. I mean, how do you react to that? That's not something that kids joke around about, it seems to me.
Well, it's not just that there was what Michael alleges physical violence. More than anything else, it was Michael feeling that his father was making him into a performer. He wanted to be loved unconditionally for who he was and not what he did. And I think that in his mind, he was being given not affection, not love, but attention. And attention is for your talents, and love is for your being. And that's why he yearned for his father's love so much. Of course, it's contradictory. Many of us have this love-hate relationship with parents. Michael yearned throughout his life for his father to embrace him. And one of the most moving parts of the book is where he says that we're going to reconcile one day. I know it's going to happen, but I have to overcome a lot. And what most undermined his lust for life, in my opinion, is that reconciliation never took place.
I want to go back to the part you talk about where he felt so hurt by being treated as a commodity, how his brothers were treated as commodities as well. And in this portion of the tape that we heard on Dateline, he describes to you exactly how much that troubled him. Let's listen to that.
Did you begin to feel that you were like a money-making machine for him?
Yes. I'll never forget one day he said, if you guys ever stop singing, I'll drop you like a hot potato. That's what he said. It hurt me. You don't say that to children, and I've never forgot it.
So Rabbi Shmuley, do you get the impression, or did you at the time, that Michael was more hurt by being treated as a money-making machine than he was by the actual beatings that he suffered at his father's hands, as he claimed.
I think the two were inextricably linked. And the reason he shared these painful memories is he wanted us to extract a lesson and apply to our children, to how we raise our own kids. This show is called Showbiz Tonight. America loves show business. America loves performance as entertainers. But we've really overdosed a bit on fame and celebrity. And for Michael, fame became his drug of choice. On the one hand, he understood its toxic effects on his life. On the other hand, he couldn't completely relinquish it. And you're pointing out very rightly, AJ, that in Michael there's such contradictory information in what he's offering. And he understood that contradiction. There were always two Michael Jacksons. There was this soft, shy, soft-spoken boy from Gary, Indiana, and there was the king of pop. What these tapes unearth is the real Michael Jackson, the boy, the one who always clung to his innocence. And that's why so much comes out about his romantic attractions to other women that were not sexual. They were just so romantic, holding hands. But then you have the other side of it. I say to him point blank, Michael, since you yearned so much for the childhood that you were never granted, since you wanted to be on the monkey bars and the merry-go-round while you were in the recording studio, would you give it up? And he thinks for a moment, he says, no, I would never give it up. So it did become an addiction after a while. And he understood that, and I understood it, because it's what we all think life is about in the United States today, and he was causing us to question our values. And I think that's why this book has been met with such a jarring response by so many in the public, because we really want to believe this lie, that if you become rich enough and famous enough, you're going to be happy, and yet Michael was utterly, utterly miserable.
Obviously, Rabbi Shmuley, you're not blind to some of the backlash that has been going on over your releasing this book at this time. You have said you feel it is important to teach lessons, for Michael's life to be redemptive, to get this book out at this time. I'm hearing from a lot of people, a lot of fans of Showbiz Tonight, after we initially played some of the recordings, they're saying, you know what, he just died a couple of months ago. So how do you convince people now who might be questioning your motives that this is not yet another betrayal of Michael, because he speaks, and we see a lot of this in the book, about how he was betrayed left and right by people who were supposed to be looking after his best interests?
This is not a memoir of my opinion of Michael Jackson. These are not my recollections. This is Michael in his own voice. The tapes speak for themselves. When a man sits down for 30 hours and he's holding a dictaphone, and he wants every word captured because he feels he's never been understood by the public. Obviously, he's saying it because he wants people to take his words to heart. This is Michael in his own words. The book speaks for itself, the tapes speak for themselves.
So how, now that it's all these years later, do you think Michael would feel about the fact that these tapes, which again were his thoughts of some 8-9 years ago, how would he feel about them being released now?
I believe that looking down from heaven, now that Michael can see that his own voice actually changed so many hearts, I think that's exactly what Michael wanted, and I'm thrilled that that is the impact the book is having. Michael deserves to be heard. We deserve to mourn a man. We deserve to understand that his tragedy is not just a personal tragedy, it's an American tragedy. He was the stuff of the American dream.
Well, further to those skeptics, the rabbi also said that a substantial portion of proceeds of his new book will go to family charities, including his own called This World, the Jewish Values Network. The rabbi's book is called The Michael Jackson Tapes. A tragic icon reveals his soul in intimate conversation.